Hi, this is Steph with Belladonna Dyes, and today's project is going to be a shirt that's inspired by the American flag for the 4th of July. So we're going to just dive right into this one. This shirt is turned inside out, and if you want to make the shirt look correct when you're standing head on looking at somebody, you either want to have your shirt turned the right side out, or you want to make your wavy line going the opposite direction. All right, so I used a washable marker to draw on my wavy line. That's going to separate the blue from the red and the white. And then I'm just going to follow this line, pleating it up. Now that I have that line all pleated up, I'm going to tie it off using sinew. And sinew is a wax-covered string that resists the dye. And since I'll be placing blue against the red, I really want to try to hold back the blue so that I don't end up getting purple. So I'm going to wrap it around 2 or 3 times and pull it really tight, and then I'm going to wrap it around a few more times and pull it even tighter, like really pull it tight. That's going to create that nice white line and give you separation. And the more times that you wrap it around, the wider that line will become, giving you a bigger white line. At least that's the hope. All that extra t-shirt material was really giving me the business. Do yourself a favor right from Jump Street. Rubber band it up and just, compact it up so it's out of your way. I wish I would have done that right from the beginning. Next, I'm going to work on the area where I'm going to be creating the red and the white stripes. So I'm just going to pleat all of this area up. And I'm using the tiny baby hair rubber bands to hold it in place as I work on my pleats. You could just start with your sinew wraps if you're confident in your spacing and all of that. But I wanted to get it all pleated up first and then try to measure it out. I wanted to try to make this shirt more accurate than I did last year. So I'm somewhat recreating last year's shirt. I got a lot of flack because I didn't do 7 red stripes and 6 white stripes. And I started with a white stripe instead of a red stripe. Just a lot of really negative comments. And so I just want to remind you guys, this is tie-dye. It's inspired by a flag. It's red, white, and blue. It's just a fun tie-dye shirt. I am not trying to be disrespectful to our American flag or anybody that has served in the military or any of that. I'm just trying to have fun and create a cute shirt. So are you guys all ready for the 4th? You have any big plans? Going to do some barbecuing? Have you made all of your red, white, and blue shirts yet? I'm really late to the game this year. I just wasn't in the mood to make red, white, and blue, but I figured I needed to just, get up off my butt and make one. I don't have any plans for the 4th. I'll be working, so, just going to be another regular day for me. This shirt is like a cautionary tale, like don't do what I did. So I really tried to map it out to get the correct amount of red stripes. I ended up only being able to get 6 red stripes on here and 5 white stripes. I started off with my blue area, that wavy line. I made it too large. And so if I make another one, I'm going to do it completely different. But what I'm doing now is I'm doing my sinew wraps, and I'm going to ice dye this shirt. So I'm making the white areas larger than the red areas to allow for the dye to creep. Because my concern is if I made them all the same exact width, the red would creep to the point where there wouldn't be any white left. I should also mention that hindsight is 2020, and had I just put a sinew line to the left of the original first sinew line that I tied, I would have been able to get more stripes. But at the time, I was so frustrated that I wasn't able to make it correctly that I just gave up, and I always say have fun tie-dyeing, and that is the honest truth, because once you stop having fun with your project, I promise you, it's not going to turn out the way that you want it to. So even at this point, I'm still hoping that I'm going to be able to get those 7 red stripes on here, and quickly, really realizing that it's just not going to happen. But the good news of this shirt is I'm using my new sinew puller from Jen, and I love it. It has really good weight to it. I love my original pullers. They're perfect for me. They fit my hand really well. But if you have larger hands, or if you're a man, maybe, this new mega puller it's really awesome. A lot of you saw the unboxing tutorial, but if you're brand new to the channel and have no idea what I'm talking about, I have an unboxing video that shows a side-by-side comparison of the original sinew puller and the new mega sinew puller. So I recommend that you check that out if you haven't seen it. And then if you're interested in getting one of these awesome sinew pullers and matching caddies, you can go over to Etsy, and Jen's shop name is Boredom with Jen Shop. She makes amazing tie-dye products. Jen is a tie-dyer herself, so she knows, what a tie-dyer needs, and so she makes things that are very helpful. Like I mentioned, this is going to be an ice dye. So what I'm doing now is I'm just removing all of those slack lines that are over top of the white, just in case. I don't want any excuse for any of the red dye to climb across that sinew line or any of that contaminating the white. The white is going to need every chance that it gets to survive. Now for the blue area, I'm going to pleat all of this up and make a ripple. And now that I have that all rippled up, I'm just going to simply secure it by using rubber bands. And I'm using the tiny baby hair rubber bands because they are the perfect size for this, and they just happen to be on the table right next to me. Now it's time for the fun part. We get to add the dye. And for this one, I decided that I wanted to try it in an ice dye. Last year's shirt I did with liquid. You could do either or. It really is just a matter of preference for you. But I didn't feel like going and mixing liquid dye. So when I'm adding my red, I'm being very careful not to drop any on the white areas. And I'm also holding it back just a little bit from that sinew line because we know that dye is going to creep. I'm adding it maybe a little bit heavier in the dead center and then just using the back of the spoon to, smooth it out and, push it a little bit towards the sinew line. But that's it. I'm not adding a ton of dye. Bluebird is one of those colors where a little bit goes a long way. And it's also one of those sticky, dense powders, and it doesn't really play nice. It doesn't want to come off the spoon. So I'm just doing little dabs of it and then using the back of the spoon to spread it out. When you make yours, you might want to use less Bluebird than I used. And I really didn't use that much. The ripple fold is pretty thick, so I was hoping that it wouldn't go all the way through and then I would end up with a little bit of white to simulate stars. Now I'm adding my ice, and I'm adding just a thin layer of ice. I don't want it to become so overly saturated that there isn't any white left. And it's recommended that you batch your project at 70 degrees or higher for at least 24 hours. So now it's time for the rinse out. And this shirt ended up batching for close to 72 hours. I was busy working in the garden and on other projects, and I just couldn't get to the rinse out. And that's okay, because after 48 hours, there really isn't much going on with the soda ash and the procion dye. The chemical reaction has stopped, so it's just, sitting there chilling out, doing its thing. So you want to start by using cold water, and that's going to rinse away any soda ash that might still be reacting within the fabric. In this case, I don't think there's any, but I still go through the motions. You want to make sure to get all that soda ash out because you don't want the dark colors to redeposit onto the light. So in this case, white. I'm trying to protect whatever white is left. As you can well tell that on the back, it's really quite saturated with the red just because of gravity. Then you want to increase your water up to hot, and that's going to rinse away any of the unbonded dye. That way it goes down your drain instead of into the washing machine, which could also create, murky washing machine water, which could, stain your shirt. So that's why you do that process. And then you rinse until the water runs pretty much clear. And untying these sinew wraps takes forever. So from here, I take it to the washing machine, and I usually do 2 hot water cycles using Kirillon. And then I do a third and final hot water cycle using Millsoft. And both of those are professional products that I get from Dharma Trading Company. And I do have links for them down below in the description box, along with everything else that I use for tie-dye. So make sure you check that out. It makes it really easy for you to find tie-dye supplies that are very helpful. And then I'll put it in the dryer and I'll iron it, and we'll come back and we'll see the results. Well, here it is, guys. Here's our American flag inspired tie-dye t-shirt with a huge emphasis on tie-dye t-shirt. After it's been washed and dried, and I really love this shirt. I do like the way the ice dye looks. The only downfall for me is I wish the back of the shirt was the front of the shirt. I really wish the blue wavy line was over the left side instead of the right side. But that's okay, because if you're looking at the person from the back, it looks pretty good. Now, the white stripes do have some pink in it, but that doesn't bother me. I think it actually gives the shirt a lot of character. And the lines are all different sizes, and it just has a really organic tie-dye feel. Like, this is a fun shirt to wear. I'm not actually creating a flag. I'm just creating a t-shirt inspired by the flag for the 4th of July. So overall, I'm really happy with it. I'm going to try this again and make it correct. I don't know if I'll get to it this year. Maybe it'll be next year's project. But overall, I think it looks really pretty. So what do you guys think? Please leave me some comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel, leave a thumbs up, and click the bell and set it to all. That way you get notified of future uploads. And remember, have fun tie-dyeing.